This was a blog that had seemed to appear out of nowhere in the late 05s. It was a couple thousand followers, but nothing too big. There'd been another piece of work that had faded into obscurity. If not for the subject matter... It would have been another piece of work that had faded into obscurity, if not for the subject matter, as it was fairly short. The narrative it tells is terrifying. I couldn't imagine someone going through this. The blog username was ChinaDoll84. November 10th, 2005. Hello, good morning, and welcome to my blog. Please allow me to introduce myself and really explain what the whole thing is going on about. My name is China. I'm 21, and I have a daughter whose name is Chloe. The reason that I've created this blog is so that I can get my story out there. I think something is going on with my daughter, and I want to document it. She just turned 5 years old yesterday, and that's when the most recent event happened. This one I managed to witness with my own eyes, but let me back up a little bit and give you the full backstory on Chloe. None of the other parents in my area will allow their children around her, and to be honest, I don't blame them. They tell me it's not her. It's just the situation. Well, the situation is that whenever she's alone with another child, that child ends up being hurt. Sometimes not so bad. Occasionally, it was pretty severe. But it always seemed to be an accident. She was just bad luck. Something deep down told me it was more than that, screamed that Chloe was to blame. Now, she's my daughter, though. How can I suspect my 5-year-old baby girl of any wrongdoing? How could I suspect her of hurting other children? So the playdates got fewer and farther between. Daycares wouldn't take her. I had to find private babysitters, but I did all that graciously. I loved my daughter. Now I should get back to the incident yesterday. It was her birthday party. I managed to get the parents to allow their kids to come over. I guess the parents figured if there's a large group, nothing could really happen. Well, when it was time for cake, we called them in. Most of the kids were already inside before I could finish my sentence. I began cutting the cake when I noticed Chloe was missing. I walked to the back door to look for her. I found her. It was just her and the neighbor boy outside. She was on the little slide that she had, and she called him to come up. I thought that was so sweet she wanted to slide down with him. What I saw then turned my blood cold. When the boy got to the top of the slide, before he could sit, she jerked around and pushed his little feet out from under him. He lunged forward, smacking his face on the slide, then falling backwards onto the ground. I rushed out there to help the boy, and Chloe was visibly surprised. She looked at me as if silently admitting what she just did. I rushed the boy into the house and called an ambulance. He broke his little nose when he hit the slide. The ambulance took the boy away, and the party pretty much broke up, just leaving her and I. We sat in silence for a good long while. I had no idea what to say. I know what I saw. She purposely injured the other child. She called him up with malicious intent, my sweet little girl. This couldn't be true. After several minutes, I managed to eke out one word. Why? She just stared at me in silence. A sinister little smile crept across her face, but she said nothing. I became tense and uncomfortable. I couldn't look at her anymore. I got up and walked away to gather my thoughts. November 25th, 2005. Welcome back to the blog. It's been about 2 weeks. I haven't posted anything because nothing noteworthy happened, that is, until yesterday. It was Thanksgiving. The family had gotten together, we were reminiscing and just having a goof time, and the kids were playing. I was keeping a close eye on Chloe, as I always do when there are other children around us. She played like a normal child. Everything was going off without a hitch, and I began to feel like maybe I was just a little crazy. Maybe it was all in my head. I allowed myself to relax and enjoy the get-together. The smell of the turkey wafted from the kitchen throughout the house. It smelled heavenly. When the time came, we all sat down for dinner, hungry and mouth-watering. I wanted to dig in so bad. But Grandma would be furious if we ate without saying grace, so we all joined hands. We waited for her to start. She began to say grace, and we all bowed our heads, and when that was finished, we began eating. My brother Joey, who was, for lack of better terms, a glutton, and he was raising his children the same way. Lord, no diabetes will probably take that whole family. I bring this up because his 13-year-old boy was inhaling his food. I couldn't tell if he was chewing or not. In a particularly large bite, he started choking. His dad jumped into action and dislodged the food item with great profession. I assume this isn't the first time that he's had to, and none of this really seemed worth telling you, but believe me, it is. When my nephew began to turn blue, before his father got to him, I glanced around the table to see if anyone could do something, and I caught a glimpse of Chloe, my daughter. She was staring right at him. She looked as if she could hardly contain her laughter. 2 days after Christmas, she was excited and happy to open her presents. Slowly, as the morning progressed, though, her demeanor changed. She started becoming a bit uninterested, then almost annoyed. I guess that I didn't get her what she wanted, but I got her a lot of nice stuff. The next morning when I woke up and I went to wake her up, I stepped into her room immediately. Fire shot up through my leg and I hit the ground hard. I had stepped on something jagged and sharp. I cursed as I slowly made my way back to my feet and turned the light on. Every single item that she had gotten for Christmas was broken and thrown on the floor. Pieces were sharp, just left inside the doorway. I almost walked through the house barefoot in the mornings, and I wake up without the light so that she can gently wake up. Did she do this on purpose to hurt me? I asked her why she broke her toys and why they were on the floor, and she flashed me her most innocent smile. I don't know, Daddy. I don't remember doing it. I know she was lying. January 31st, 2006. Hello, welcome back to my blog. After the last incident, I've become kind of scared of my daughter, and I don't know why she wanted to hurt me or wants to hurt me. I haven't really left the house other than for work. I watch her play, I watch her eat. I'm always just watching her. Nothing happens. She seems to be an average little girl. Once again, I began to think that maybe it's in my head. I feel a little silly for being scared of her. I'm sorry for that. This will probably be my last blog entry. March 4th, 2006. It's become escalated. She wanted to watch something violent on television, and I, of course, told her no. She pleaded and threw a little fit. In response to her fit, I scooped her off the floor. I was going to let her get her anger out in the bedroom, and she could come back out when she had calmed down. Halfway down the hall, she sunk her teeth into my arm. She bit down as hard as her little jaw would allow. I dropped her in the hallway, and through her tears, she smirked at me. I had to disinfect and bandage my arm as she broke the skin pretty severely. She picked herself off the floor and started walking towards her room. She stopped at a picture of her and I on the wall, climbed on the little stand to grab it, and launched it at the opposing wall, shattering it. She then calmly went into her room and shut the door. This was a few hours ago. I'm so scared. I really don't know what to do with her. I can't call the cops. What would they tell? I'm so scared. I really don't know what to do with her. I can't call the cops. What would I tell them? I can't exactly fight back. She's only 5. So to any of my readers out there, what would you do? I need advice. I'm at a loss, and if things get worse, I have no idea what's going to happen. June 5th, 2009. I know it's been years since my last blog post. I'm sorry my life's fallen apart and becoming A living hell. A couple days after the last incident I posted, she broke my nose. She wanted me to buy her something, and I refused, so she slammed her head into my face. I was bleeding and in tears. It hurt so bad, she was laughing hysterically. Her true side came out. I took her to a mental institution for children, but they released her. She's a very good actress. She went through all of their tests brilliantly, every question answered just like a typical 5-year-old. It was that night that I'd woken up. Something startled me and disturbed my sleep. I opened my eyes and there she was, sitting Indian style on the foot of my bed, looking at me almost as if contemplating. In her lap was a large butcher's knife. "I'm trying to decide if I need you." The words came out very matter-of-factly without emotion. "I guess you're useful so I can keep you around. Try not to outlive that usefulness, though, Dad." She got up and hopped off the bed and she started to walk around, then stopped, looked at me as if trying to contemplate whether I should live, and finished walking out. I became so distraught I was let go from my job. My life fell to pieces. My friends stopped calling me. They stopped showing up to check on me. They stopped trying to contact me. I drove the rest of my family away from me. I've managed to alienate them all. If anyone found out how Chloe treats me, I don't want them getting hurt trying to step in. It got so bad that I became a prisoner in my own home. She's gotten much older, much more sadistic and brutal. She's stronger than I am. She's demanding. She hits and cuts me. It's become like a fucked up abusive relationship. The worst thing of all, though, is that she's become much more self-reliant. The less she needs me, the more scared for my life I become. She's begun looking at me like an old dog that needs to be put down, and I don't know how long I'm going to survive. I need to fight back. June 7th, 2009. Tonight's the night. When she's asleep, I'm going to do something. Maybe escape, maybe kill her. I don't know, but something has to be done. She's gonna kill me. If I don't do something, she's gonna kill me soon. She came home today covered in blood. I don't know if she's torturing animals or humans. I can't be sure. I don't know if I'm not long for this world if I stay here. I'll update you all when I can. Please. Pray for me. And that's where the story ultimately ends. This was the last post ever posted on that blog. There was never any word about what happened, if China made it out of the house or not. The blog has been taken down in 2015, and there has been no further word about China or Chloe.